So today, we got a coolant leak for you. Let's go see where it is. All right, so we're looking on the passenger side of the engine. Let's see if you can see it. Get there first. All right, let's go from underneath. All right, so you see that black line right there? It's got coolant coming out of it. There we go. Come on, there we go. All right, that black coolant line right there. That line and that line right there are both gonna be replaced today. Now what happens is with age, they just get extremely fragile, extremely brittle, cheap plastic lines. You know how it goes. And those lines go, come on, focus camera. All right, those lines go all the way down the back of the tranny and then over to the DEF header. So those coolant lines are for the DEF system to heat it up when it's too cold. So proper name for those, return and supply coolant lines. I call them long black after treatment coolant lines. The DEF return and supply coolant lines. So first things first, you wanna take off that bumper. You're gonna wanna drain the coolant. If you see my other videos, you know exactly where I'm draining it from. You know exactly when you take off the bumper. Next thing you wanna do is you're gonna take off this fender. We're gonna take off this guy. If you see my other videos, well, you already know. You got the little bolts right there. There's little bolts right here. Underneath. There's little bolts right there. And back there. Right there. Okay, now that we got that fender off, bolt over. Let's show you where these lines go. So you can see them up there at the very top of the engine. Both of them routed together. That's why we're gonna replace them both together, because they're both cheap plastic lines, and they're both brittle, and they're crap. So right here we're looking at the exhaust bellows coming off the turbo. And that pipe's gonna come off. Just a clamp right there, a clamp right there, and there's two bolts on the back side. It's kind of hard to see. You see a nut right there? Yeah, there's two nuts right there we're gonna take off. And then that line, as you can see, routes on the top of the transmission. Those black lines right there. Routes to the other side, and then goes right under the driver's seat, right above the battery box. And it goes to two jumper lines going to the DEF header and the pump. So, next thing. I want to take off this air filter housing. Got two bolts right there, and I got a bolt right there. Remove that one clamp at the very top there, and I'm gonna take that filter housing off. Okay, so here we are. The air filter housing came right off. So every now and again when you're taking it off, these suckers just break on off. Front air filter housing mount, isolator bushings. So we're gonna have to replace these, and these are only held on there by a little nut on the back side. So this stud goes down, and it's just held on by a nut right here on both sides. So while we're here, we're just gonna go ahead and do both of them. Good thing I planned ahead and I already got them. As you can see, here's another look at that leaking line. And she is just brittle. Guarantee when we push it back a little bit, it'll just snap on off. Oh, you know what? I just noticed it's held on by a zip tie. That's the only thing holding it on there. So someone was already here and saw that it was leaking and zip tied it. Hey, you know what? Ingenuity, right? Cheapest way possible. But now you're gonna pay. Now we're gonna get it done right. All right, as you can see, now we got the pipe off. That was the hold down. Let me show you the hold down mount right here. Like I said, it was just two nuts on the back side. So, following the line down, as you can see, we got some mounts, just a half-inch heads there, half-inch head. So we need a half-inch socket and a wrench. Same thing right there, and the rest are just zip ties all the way across, all the way to training. So put on a hat, because you're gonna get stabbed quite a few times. There's the only way in here, unless you're super skinny, hop on top of that training. But I am not that skinny. I ain't no little punk. I'll do it the hard way. All right, let's cut these suckers down. We're gonna loosen up these clamps. We're gonna take out those lines from up there. And we're gonna unwrap this sucker. It is going to make a mess, so get ready. right, time to put out these lines. As you can see, the tabs just broke right away. This O-ring is completely screwed up right here, so that'd be a good sign of leaking. Nice and brittle, nothing broke off in here. Let's take out this next one. Probably can't see too well. Let me get some light over there for you. And as you can tell, this one completely broke off. That little area, the nipple that was on there, completely broken, as you can see on this one. Does not look like this. So, that little nipple broke off inside there. So we're gonna have to get that sucker out. All right, so now she's all loosened up. And we're gonna get it from the, I just got disconnected from the driver's side above the battery box and pull it out. All right, so bear with me now. This can be a pain to see. You see what as it's coming out. You have any pair of lights? Okay, so here we are looking at the coolant line. You see how they're formed? All right. Here we are looking at the brand new coolant lines. I'm gonna go ahead and zip tie them together just like this one. Put the clamps in all the right locations so I know exactly where to clamp them. As for part numbers, let's go ahead and help you guys out. I know this can be kind of hard to find sometimes. All right, here's one and the other.
As we all try to figure out NFTs, fungible.
And you know what? You're welcome. Okay. As you can see, my new line is formed. I got it all tied up together. Make it nice and easy. You are a pain in the ass. You going to the trash. All right, let's get that sucker in there. All right, so right in that line in there, it's going to be a real pain. You're going to want to go behind that cap mount, behind the rear hook, lifting point on the engine. And you're going to go up and over the coolant lines and connect it right at the ports. Leave everything loose until you're all done. Connect the two lines, and then you're going to want to tie everything down. It's going to suck, but you got to get up in there, make that money. All right, here we are. You want to take the back end. Take the back end, send it through, and when you're sending it, don't cut these.
It's Wednesday morning with me, Kate, on Alt Nation. Quick reminder about Tom Morello's Maximum Firepower, airing over on Volume 106. His brand new show where he welcomes Wayne Kramer and Chris number 2 to examine the intersection of punk and politics. And I will most definitely be listening, because that is right up my alley. It debuts at 1:30 Eastern, which is about an hour after I get off the air, over on Volume 106. You will also be able to get it on the SiriusXM app by searching Maximum Firepower. Cool show. New Brian Camino there with One Last Cigarette. Got the latest from Shinoda right after the top of the hour on Alt Nation.
All right, so here we are looking about the tranny. So those are the fuel lines I was talking about. Make sure it goes underneath of them so you route them correctly, so you have some good tie down points. All right, so we're gonna tie it down exactly how we took it off. So right now I'm gonna connect it over there on the driver's side above the battery box. I'm gonna go ahead and connect it there. and make sure the holes are properly cleaned out up top, and then I'm gonna go ahead and connect it up there, and then I'll tie it down. Okay, hold it down right there, connect it right there. We're connected here. Kind of hard to see, but we're connected there. Now let's tie that sucker down. All right, so here we are, looking on top of the tranny again. As you can see, it's all tied down, secured, good to go all the way across. We got all the brackets on there, all the hold downs, all the tie downs. She's connected, and she is good. Next thing, we're gonna put back on this pipe with new seals, of course. New seals and new clamps if you have them. Because these seals, they will not hold up for a second use. And then we can put on all the fenders. All right, as you can see, exhaust pipe is on there. Got my clamps, got my seals. It's all been replaced. Perfect time to replace that if it's leaking. Inspect it thoroughly for cracks or damage or any sort. By the way, oh, that guy is expensive. Damn. So, while we're here, we're gonna go ahead and pressurize the cooling system and just see if there are any leaks, any cracks, or any problems in the line. If that all is good, well then we're gonna put on these fenders and we're gonna be good to go. You guys just save yourself a bunch of money. Peace. So that's it. That's how you do those coolant lines. So, like I said, those coolant lines got a lot of names, but call them what you want. They're a pain in the ass. And now you got the part number, now you got the skills. Go make that money, hustle out there. And if you got that problem, bring it to me, and I'll make that money for you. Hey, you guys take it easy out there. Pass on this message to everyone else, all right? Subscribe. See you later.